Night. That song brings me to when we think about black men in general. Okay, that song always touched me, even when it dropped back in the day. Oh my God. Let's get into the foolery. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning into my channel called Take Heed to the Message with Abang Anwa. It just means queen. So put a one in the chat if my audio is good today. Okay? Put a one in the chat if the audio is good today, because y'all know this audio will listen. It will act a fool, baby. Okay? Put a one in the chat if the audio is good. I appreciate y'all. The title of this foolery today is The Uncomfortable Truth Comes Out. Was Kamala, I'm saying his name wrong. Kamar, Why can't I say this baby name correctly? Mm. Kamel, And I said his name right yesterday. Camarlo. Did I say it right? Camarlo. Okay, thank you guys. Camarlo Anthony in. Oh, God, why can't I say this boy name right? Was Camarlo Anthony in the right? Was he in the right? I'm not good with names. Please forgive me, y'all. My heart breaks when we hear this foolery. My heart breaks. Not just for our own, but also for the Caucasian family too. So my heart breaks for both. Now, I know some people get in here and they say, well, what about our other children who were deleted by monsters from the Caucasian community? My heart breaks for those children too. Now, I wasn't on social media when some of these incidents happened, but was I on fire at home? Did I speak out? Yes. But I didn't have a social media platform. When we get in here and we talk about Trayvon, that broke my heart. And even though Obama said, he could have been my son, I even cried when I heard Obama say that, because that young man wasn't doing anything but walking home. But I want to share something with y'all, because I know a lot of us are hurting. And we think what Anthony did, I want to say his last name. We think what Anthony did is right. And I'm not here to judge anybody, okay? I'm not here to pass judgment or get in here and do a whole court session, because I don't like to get in here and bash our brothers. I don't. Even our babies, I don't like it. I don't like it. It breaks my heart, because I have a son that is a teenager. I have a son that is a grown man. Okay? So for me to get out here and be like, black men this, da 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 da, no. So when you hear Take Heed come to social media, and I'm talking about this young man, it is not to tear him down more than what he is. You know what I'm saying? I'm quite sure this boy has been crying. He's thinking about what he has done while he's sitting in a jail cell. But why is this boy bail $1 million? Why is his bail $1 million? You understand? This is the nonsense that, and I want to share this with you. The justice system has never been meant for black people. Never find yourself dealing with the justice system. It has never been for us. The incarceration part, yes. But everything else has never been meant for us. $1 million, which they know the family can't even get up to get that boy home, to sit down and talk to him to find out what is going on, what happened. This is what breaks my heart, because let me share something with y'all. Even the young man who deleted the CEO or the president, okay, that he had deleted of healthcare. I think it was Blue Cross Blue Shield or United, which one? They had did a GoFundMe for this man, and I talked about that too, that was nonsense. I talked about that too. I said, there's no way that y'all should be uplifting this man who deleted somebody because of his health care being denied or something like that. That is the dumbest shit I ever heard. But yet, people were rallying. All colors were rallying. He did the right thing. Once that trial start, and that ex-wife and those children take the stand, and she talk about how these kids won't grow up with their father no more, that he's going to jail. He gonna go do life in prison. See, all of y'all out here, y'all rooting and everything, you screaming for this man Joni, whatever his name is. He going under the jail. He going under the jail. Okay, he going under the jail. But yet y'all did a fun, what is that thing? A GoFundMe. Y'all did a GoFundMe for him. And y'all uplifted that foolery. Take Heed is not a content creator. Let me share something with you. I'm not going to get everything right. I don't, listen, I'm not one of those content creators that get into everything. But when I see something that looks wrong, I'm going to speak on it. I'm going to speak on it. And my mindset is coming from a mother. Regardless if y'all want to sit up here and talk about black and white, my mindset is coming from a mother. These two are 17-year-old children. They're children. One, we want to paint, okay, he's a racist. Because y'all painting the boy a racist. He's a racist. Y'all painting our son. Because the boy is ours. Anthony is ours. So you're painting our son as a thug. You saw him with a fake toy gun, and he put his middle finger up and all this other stuff. So y'all painting him as a thug. The other one you're painting as a KKK member. Okay? And this is the nonsense. At the end of the day, both of these two young men are 17-year-olds. 17-year-olds, and they both made foolish decisions. Because at the end of the day, Austin had no right to tell him to get from under the tent. At the end of the day, Anthony had no right to have a knife, a pocket knife. At the end of the day. You understand what I'm saying? At the end of the day, 18, you probably right, baby. You probably right. At the end of the day, both of these young men made foolish decisions. But we're in here painting one as a gangster and one as a KKK. And the truth is, this is the uncomfortable truth. Austin had a 3.4, I think, GPA. And then Anthony has a 4-point GPA. Anthony worked 2 jobs. He lived in a privileged household. He had a mother and a father that raised him. Austin, same thing. Mother and father raised him. I don't know if he worked. You only hear tidbits here and there on social media. Y'all saw him with a Peace Be Still. Okay? And so now y'all got in your mind, oh, this is KKK. When y'all know that these young boys, they hunt. Caucasian young boys hunt. Even African American young boys, they hunt too. If their family is from the South, most of the young men who fathers are from the South, they teach these children how to fish and hunt and all that stuff like that. So now we have got to a place where we're in here and we're calling one a gangster and we're calling another one from the KKK. When the reality is these were two good kids. This was the reality. Now, I'm not going, now listen to me, I can't be articulate. I'm going to say that wrong. I'm never like that. I'm going to try the best I can to get these words out correctly, but I've never been. I can't get up here and fake the funk with nobody. But when I look at it, I'm looking at through mother's eyes. Mother's eyes. I'm looking at both of these young men who made foolish decisions. Both of them. Shout out to Information Man, because I had saw a clip that he had posted on his channel. Shout out to Information Man, because he always come with the receipts. I love this brother content because he always come with the receipts, and I'm gonna share something with you. Information Man makes you happy to watch him. Do you hear me? Information Man makes you happy to watch this brother because he always come with the receipts. Now take heed, get up here, and I just talk shit. I just get up here and I talk shit, and I express my feelings on certain situations. I never tell you to believe what I say. It's just my opinion. It's just my opinion and how I feel. I can never get up here and tell you, oh, what I'm saying is the gospel truth. Do you hear what I'm saying? I can never get up here and tell you that this is the gospel truth. I'm just getting up here stating my opinion. But when I look at this situation, I see two boys that made the wrong decision. I see two boys that made the wrong decision, and one was sent to glory and the other one is in jail. We don't know the outcome of what's going to happen. Everybody up here playing lawyer. Some of us don't even have a law degree. We up here playing lawyer about what's going to happen, instead of us checking with the experts of how all this would play out. And then we still don't know, because we don't know if a plea deal might come. We don't know if the judge might get in there and say, wait a minute, no, this is not what it is. So the law is written down a certain way, but it can be interpreted in different ways. The whole truth and nothing but the truth is that two boys made the wrong decision. And as my brothers and sisters, I want you to understand this. We have to stand firm and hold people accountable. We can't get in here and be one-sided. We have to hold people accountable for the decisions that they made. Now, I know some of y'all don't like the videos that I put out. You telling me, Ma, you wrong. Some of you have donated to my channel and you feel the way that you feel. And I'm going to share something with you, baby. No love is lost here. No love is lost here. You grown, I'm grown. You going to feel the way you want to feel. All we got to do is keep it respectful. And all I'm going to say to you is we going to have to agree to disagree. I'm not upset at all. I'm not upset at all. We have to agree to disagree. But which all of y'all in here calling me names and this and that, baby, I have been called worse. I have been called worse. I grew up hard. So the stuff that you say to me, it doesn't faze me. At times I get in there and spar with you a little bit because I just want the video to move. So I'll get in there and aggravate you a little bit. The thing is that we have to call a spade, regardless of how you feel. Regardless of how you feel, the truth will have to come forth, regardless of how you feel. At the end of the day, and I have said this over 1,000 times, I've said this over 1,000 times. Both of these young men have made the wrong decision. Both of these young men. And it's heartbreaking. Sunkiss, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Somebody else gave me something. A&A, thank you for the $2 super chat, baby. I see y'all. Thank you so much. So let's get into the first video. Shout out to Information Man, because he's going to dissect this better than I can. And I appreciate this brother for always putting out the truth. He always puts out the truth, no matter what. And I love that about Information Man. Shout out to this brother. Guys, when you get time, please like and subscribe to this brother. Amazing channel. He holds back no punches. You hear what I'm saying? He holds back no punches. Good morning, Mrs. She Said. How you doing? It's good to see you. Shout out to the Harris tribe, okay? Promoting conscious parenting with the Harrises. Always fire and educational. Y'all, please don't forget Cerebral Saturdays and Shame Lady on Sundays. Y'all get in here and rock out on their channels. Like and subscribe to their channel. Also, Red Lipstick Vibe. Don't forget to get in here and rock out on that sister channel as well. Always educational. And she come with those facts, baby. Okay, those receipts. All the four content creators that I just mentioned come with those receipts, okay? Mrs. She Said, thank you for the gift membership to CDT Beats. Appreciate you. Let's get straight into it, okay? Let's get straight into Information Man. Here we go.
This is the Information Man. What I like to say right now is I want to shout out the real Dana, because I got some clips that I got from her channel. I want to give her credit.
And shout out to the real Dana, because he got this clip from her as well. So shout out to the real Dana. Y'all get time, like and subscribe to that sister channel, because Information Man has shouted her out. So we got to also tell her thank you too. Shout out to Ricky Williams. I also see Lost in Translation podcast. Shout out to those two amazing content creators. Brothers always putting that truth down no matter what. So let's get in here. Let's finish it up. Here we go.
Interview with Judge Joe Brown about this very issue around Carmelo Anthony and whether he has a leg to stand on in terms of self-defense. And she frequently has Judge Joe Brown on her show weekly, talking about a variety of different issues. So I want to shout her out, give her credit. You can definitely see this full video on her channel. But let me highlight some of the things that he said that I think is very important. One, very important. When you get stopped by the police, they always are supposed to read you your Miranda rights, which is you have the right to be silent, and anything that you say can be used against you in a court of law. Where Judge Joe Brown has an issue with Carmelo is the fact that he said that Carmelo might have ran his mouth too much when he asked the officers, can I use self-defense in this situation? Now, he admitted that he did the deed. He didn't say that he did not do the deed. He didn't run away, but they did arrest him, and he started talking. This is what's bad about it in terms of what Judge Joe Brown just said, or what you're going to hear him say in this video today, is that they can use anything that you say to diffuse your case for self-defense. So you got to really be quiet until you see a lawyer. Now, he is a...
And I'm going to share something with you, because Carmelo is scared. He's nervous. He probably has told these people everything, and not even in front of a, he doesn't know how to request for a lawyer, to talk to his lawyer. He probably has told them everything that, because he's scared, and he's 17. Okay. And so I want us to understand, I am not here to bash any of my brothers, none at all, even our babies. I'm not here to bash any of them. But I want you to understand something. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. I want us to understand that, because at the end of the day, you have two 17-year-olds. One is going into the ground. Oh my God. One is going into the ground. No parent would ever want to sign up for something like that. Do you hear me? When your baby leave the house, you're not expecting to get a call from the police saying that he has gone on to glory. I don't care how y'all try to spin it and say the boy is KKK, the boy is this, he's that, whatever. At the end of the day, this baby is being buried. Nobody wants their child to pass away before them. No parent. Parent three. First of all parents, no matter what color you are, we dread the day somebody will call you and tell you your baby is gone. Do you hear what I'm saying? So my heart goes out to the family. My heart goes out to the family. And my heart also goes out to Anthony family too. Because a young man like this, they don't know anything about prison. They don't know anything about doing time. 17 years old. A 4-point, I think what is it? 4-point GPA. Okay. 2 jobs, lived in a privileged home, lived in a privileged area. The boy doesn't know anything about being in prison. He doesn't know anything. This is why I always talk about, when y'all raise these kids in the suburbs, y'all let them try to want to experience hood life. That's on both sides. That's on both sides. The kids that are in the hood don't even want to know anything about the hood. The kids that are in the suburbs, you want to know everything about the hood. Why? Why? Even the kids in the hood don't even want to know about it. Because I know me growing up in the projects, I didn't even want to smell the projects. I did not. I dreaded living in the projects, but I had no choice but to live there. Anyway, let's continue. We going back into information, man. Okay? Let's get in there.
This in mind, because he's 17 years old, he's a minor. Police should know better than to start pumping a teenager for information when he doesn't even have his family there as well. So let's just keep that in mind. I want to go into this clip and let you hear what Judge Joe Brown said himself about the pros and cons of the leg that he has to stand on when it comes to stand your own ground. So let's get into this right now. I hope everybody out there is doing well. And let's hear Joe Brown, Judge Joe Brown. Y'all know him.
After Anthony was placed inside the police vehicle, he asked an officer if McCaff was going to be okay and if what happened could be considered self-defense. Now, attorney Anthony...
Stop right there a second. He went wrong. He ran his mouth off too much. He had the witnesses going for him. But if he did that, then what happens is he just quasi-removed his defense, because self-defense says you can't escalate the force used unless there is disparate strength between the person who is attacked and the
So basically what Judge Joe Brown is saying here, to get it to say it plain, is that if you are under attack, you can't use force against the other person without it being an equal force. Meaning just this. If someone's fighting you with bare knuckles, then you can fight them back with your bare knuckles. But once you bring a firearm into it, and in this case, a knife, and that person doesn't have a knife, then it becomes an imbalance in that battle, right? He also is going to talk about if you got an old lady who doesn't have a lot of strength, and a grown,
Hey,
strong
Derek,
man
how
is
are
trying
you?
to manhandle her, so to speak, and she has to use something like a knife, that would be reasonable because given the fact that the man is overpowering compared to her. But you got to look at it this way. People are saying that the McCaffrey brothers were big dudes, right? So that's what he's basically saying here. And let me just play it so you can hear it for yourself again. But let's go with this again. Judge Joe Brown, break it down.
Unless there is disparate strength between the person who is attacked and the person who is the attacker. In other words, a little old lady could potentially use some deadly force to stop a real strong young guy from doing her in. But two young, strong guys are not supposed to escalate physical force where it is of non-lethal violence into using a weapon and becoming lethal violence.
Lethal violence, because technically, if Carmelo Anthony would have kept this at just being a knuckle bar fight, in my last video, I said, gone are the days where these kids fight with their knuckles to live to see the next day. So if he just...
Now, I'm going to share something with you. Judge Joe Brown, how the way he dissecting this thing, more than likely it's going to play out like that. Okay? And this is a judge. Even though he's retired, the law hasn't changed yet. So we'll see how it all plays out. But at the end of the day, and I know a lot of y'all like take heed, you know. Derek, how are you, honey? Tony, how you doing? I know at the end of the day, y'all like take heed, but this is not the days of old when, you know, people get it in like that. This is not the days of old, okay? Now, listen, first I want to say take heed to the message does not support violence, because I see my stream trying to act a fool. Take heed to the message does not support violence, okay? So I know y'all want to say, well, take heed, this is not the days of old when we get in here and we lay hands and stuff like that. And I understand that. I understand that. But how you deal with a bully is that you have to stand. You have to stand up to a bully. Now, this is what the social media streets is portraying Austin as the bully. You have to stand up to a bully. I didn't say get a piece, be still. I didn't say get a knife. I said you must stand up to the bully. Where were the teachers at? This was an event. Where was the security? This was an event. Because you can't have an event and not have security around. That's how it's supposed to be. So where were everybody? You understand? This is what we're talking about. Another thing too, a lot of people say he was not supposed to be under the tent. Check this out. The tent belongs to the school. It was not his personal property. It was not his personal property. A lot of people said that, okay, well, Austin is racist. He's a racist kid, okay? The boy played on football. He played in football. He was around our children. They had to work together to defeat the other team, am I right? He was around other children. It's not like he was surprised to see an African American child. He was around other children of ours. So that doesn't make sense. Now you got to throw that out the window too now. Got to throw that out the window too. Because y'all get in here, you called the boy racist, this and that and all this, and that's not even the case. That's not the case. That's not the case. Because the true racist wouldn't even want to play football with black children. I said what I said. So now you have to put that away. The thing is that this is a situation that went left on both of their parts. You understand? So this means that under this tent, they had all different colors under the tent. It wasn't just, okay, it wasn't just Caucasian children. So, because y'all trying to put a race thing on this bad boy, and all this is just two 17-year-olds that did some nonsense, and one was sent to glory. Also, too, they have never met. They have never met before. So this is an isolated incident. They have never met before. The evidence that's coming out now, they have never met before. But we're going to put allegedly on there. Okay? No, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that, because the thing is that the tent belonged to the school. So anybody gets to get under the tent. There's not a certain group of people that can't get under the tent. The tent belonged to the school. So nobody has the right to tell anybody you can't be under the tent. Especially it was raining. It was raining. All this was foolish. Somebody said, somebody said that Anthony was sitting in Austin's seat under the tent. And so Austin told him to get up. Even if that was the case, that's still stupid. That's still stupid. Where was the coach at? Where were the teachers? Where was the security? Nobody seen anything? This is dumb. And even if this was a weekend event, okay, teachers have to be around, because we just dropped our second child off to her school. They having a big event up north, and a whole bunch of teachers went with them on a bus. So that doesn't make sense. Let's continue. Here we go. Shout out to Information Man for dropping these gems right here.
Kept it at being a fight of punching with the bare knuckles, kicking, punching, whatever. Then if something would have happened where Austin McCaffrey would have been deleted based on him punching him in a bare knuckle situation, then that he's saying that maybe the argument for self-defense would have a little bit more weight to it based on it being an equal situation. But when you bring in a weapon, a knife, or a firearm, that's when you escalate the situation to a whole nother level. But this is the thing, though. He's not saying that KARMELO Anthony can't have a leg to stand on for self-defense. He's just saying that the fact that weapons was added, and then talking to the police and saying things like, can I be silent, remain silent, because they will use things against you in a court of law. Let you hear the rest of Judge Joe Brown.
See, he shot his mouth off. He was doing good, and then he opened his mouth. So now he gave them some cause to say, okay, this is a homicide where the situation was escalated. He's an athlete. Why didn't he just respond with physical force? And if the assailant escalated it beyond what was an exchange of physical force, unarmed physical force, then he can escalate the match.
Now, everybody, let me stop right there. Let me show you what the law says about this situation. Okay? Let's see what the law says. I hear what Judge Joe Brown is saying, and he's on to something here. But I want you all to see what the law says about this. Let me put this up right here. I've read this on my other channel. That's the Truth Media Raw channel. Make sure you go over there and subscribe to Truth Media Raw.
Make sure you subscribe to Truth Media Raw as well, not just Information Man channel. Okay, get to that other channel too. Shout out to that brother. Here we go.
Where I have short videos. I'm going to read this again. Texas law specifies or specifically focuses on stand your ground. It's a law that allows individuals to use deadly force in self-defense without the duty of retreat if they reasonably believe it is necessary to protect themselves or others from imminent harm, and they are in a place where they have the right to be. Well, I said this before, KARMELO Anthony did have the right to be at that track and field event because, quite honestly, everybody, he was a track and field athlete. There was a reason why he was there. I don't know why it had to be this big deal about him being near their tent or sitting in the tent when nothing was stolen. He didn't steal anything from anybody. And this whole thing was a shame.
And the tent belonged to the school. And the tent belonged to the school. Want to say that one more time. Let's continue.
Let's go to Judge Joe Brown and get his perspective. I just read you the law, okay? The law of the land in a place called Texas, okay? And so I just want to make sure that we're on the same page there, everybody. Peace and respect. Definitely subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification. Let's get back to this.
So you saying
In other words, two guys are having a fist fight, and one of them pulls out a gun and shoots the other. That's going to be a murder case because the violence got escalated to another level that was uncalled for.
Right.
If one guy pulls out a gun, the other guy pulls out a gun and shoots him, fine. If it's a felony murder, like I was describing, okay. But he ran his mouth off and said, I did it, and he got me scared.
Now, this is a great point that Judge Joe Brown. I like Judge Joe Mathis as well, everybody. But Judge Joe Brown brings up a very good point here. If you have a guy that you're in a fight with,
right,
and you're getting the most of him, and then he pulls out a weapon like a firearm or maybe even a knife in the case in this situation, and now it's been escalated, and now you would then have the right to pull out a weapon yourself, such as either a knife or a firearm, and now you would have the right to go.
Guys, let me stop real quick. Shout out to Mona D. Please like and subscribe to that sister channel. She always come with the receipts, educational. She break it down, baby. Shout out to Mona D. Now, yeah, I know he said it wrong. His name is Greg Mathis. I know he said it wrong. But we gonna let him cook. Shout out to Information Man. Okay? Shout out to Information Man. Let's continue. Here we go.
Because you're meeting force with force, basically. You're meeting the moment that requires you to take it to that level, because now he's just pulled out a knife or a firearm. So now you grab your firearm or your knife, and now it becomes an equal battle to whatever level it takes it to. This is what I believe Judge Joe Brown is saying here. Let's get back to him.
Because he went in, that's not an excuse.
He shouldn't have said nothing, but again,
mouth shut. So
can that be used?
Let me move this back just a little bit just to hear this again, everybody. This is very important. Let's go.
To another level that was uncalled for. If one guy pulls out a gun, the other guy pulls out a gun and shoots him, fine. If it's a felony murder, like I was describing, okay. But he ran his mouth off and said, I did it, and he got me scared because he went in. That's not an excuse.
So basically, Judge Joe Brown is saying that this is why you should remain silent in a situation like this. But let's keep this in mind. KARMELO Anthony is a minor. He's 17 years old, so he's still a minor. He still has a brain that hasn't fully developed. We're dealing with teenagers that were fighting and scuffling with each other to the point that one teenager, in this case, Austin McCaffrey, lost his life because KARMELO Anthony did stab him. And that cannot be denied. There's no excuses for that. It's wrong. I feel that it's wrong. However, the young man said that he was defending himself. And so we have to also look at this from both perspectives. We do. But Judge Joe Brown is giving solid advice here. You really should remain silent, because if you say something that seems a little weird to the police, they're going to use it against you in a court of law and make it.
He's right. Now, my dear, I see that you put something in here. Some YouTube guy. Okay, my dear, listen, I don't even eat that one. You know what I like? I like the fish fillet. So I don't, at least be nice. I like the fish fillet. Okay? Be nice now. Okay? Yes, I'm a big girl, but I like the fish fillet. Be nice. Okay? That's just, at least be nice now. Damn. You ain't got to say it's a Big Mac and fries. The fish fillet. Yeah, Listen, I like the fish fillet. Some people, I'm just saying. It's all right. I'm not hating on the Big Mac. You eat the Big Mac, y'all go eat I like the fish fillet. It tastes better. I don't know. Anyway, let's continue, okay? Please, baby, if you don't want to stay on the topic, scroll up, baby. Scroll up. You don't have to sit and watch me. Okay? Yesterday somebody said I'm making them pancakes. Okay? I told her, yes, I feed children that are starving. If you want pancakes, yes. I make pancakes. Do you think I feel bad that you call me Aunt Your Mama? Aunt Your Mama was beautiful. Okay? She was beautiful, damn it. She was chocolate. She was beautiful. Okay, take heed. Don't feel bad about my skin. I love my chocolate skin. I was taught that when I was young. I don't have that problem. Some women have that problem about being chocolate. I wish I was more darker. I ain't even lying to you. Sometimes I hate my husband's skin because when I'm laying on him and stuff, and then we touch skin and stuff, I be jealous that he's like, darker than me. He's more chocolate, I already told him that, I would like a chocolate baby. And then the last one was chocolate. So I'm not even, I'm not mad. I'm not mad that she calling me all these names. Okay? Now, if I ain't grow up in the hood and I ain't seen a lot of shit, I'll be upset. Okay? I use it for content. Now, let's continue. Let's continue into the foolery. Okay? Shout out to Judge Joe Brown. Here we go.
You were just trying to find a way out of the situation, whether it being an organic question in which you asked because you truly were defending for your life. And let's say, hey, Carmelo felt bullied. Let's say, and then let me just say this too as well. He has representation that's come out talking on his behalf. You've got the Next Generation Action Network, and they're saying that there was no relationship between Carmelo Anthony and Austin McCaffrey.
And that's where some of y'all bloggers got that information wrong. They didn't even know each other. This just happened out of the blue. They have no ties to each other, never seen each other before. Okay? So this all the information y'all have been putting out on social media is horrible. Y'all don't even know what's going on. I didn't know either. So that's why I was saying alleged, because I didn't know either. Somebody else had put out something about the Caucasian young boy too, about him doing some nonsense. So I don't know either. So that's why we have to go baby steps and actually find out the true information. Okay, so let's continue. Here we go. Shout out to Information Man one more time. Shout out to that brother for always bringing the truth. Damn it. Here we go.
People not to put out misinformation, that there was no incident at a party.
Nothing.
I know people were talking about a cell phone being broken, but the family is saying that there was no incident at some party or something about a girlfriend. And definitely they're saying that he didn't even know this guy. Now, I made a statement on my last video that I wouldn't be surprised if he had a run-in with these guys before. That doesn't mean that he knew them. I'm just saying that I wouldn't be surprised if something happened with him and these guys before. That's an opinion. That's not facts. I'm not saying it's facts. It's just me wondering what would escalate it to where it went. Let's get back to Judge Joe Brown right now, shall we? I appreciate all of you listening.
Shout out to Information Man.
He shouldn't have said nothing, but again,
mouth shut. So
can that be used against him?
Yeah, it can. Anything you say can and may be used in evidence against you. The Fifth Amendment. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to consult with an attorney. You have no obligation to make a statement, but if you do, anything you say can and may be used against you.
That's facts, everybody. That's facts. So that's why I was saying you got to remain silent.
Hey, Shay, what's up, baby?
Once again, I get what the judge is saying, but this is a judge of experience. This is a young man, a young boy, teenager, 17-year-old minor, and Carmelo Anthony, who probably doesn't know the law that well, or maybe he just was nervous, okay? He knew what he did. He was nervous, and in his mind, hey, I'm letting the cops know right now that I was fighting for my life too. That it was.
And that was the part that he was not supposed to say, and then he didn't know because he was already terrified. You looking at a 17-year-old boy that these and both of them, wet behind the ears, 17-year-old. You believe that nothing can take you down in life. You believe that, anything you do is right. You know what I'm saying? Wet behind the ears. Okay, a lot of us have 17-year-olds currently living in your house, and they think that they know everything, and you can't tell them shit. Okay, so this is what is really playing out. Okay, and so now he done realized what he has done. He's probably been crying and scared as shit while he up there in that prison, in the jail right now. Okay, so this is the uncomfortable truth. Uncomfortable truth. Both of these young men made horrible decisions, and both, we gonna say both lives. One is gone, one is going to be buried soon, and the other one is going to prison. Okay, he may or may not. Okay, may or may not. Yes, Stephen. It's not a good situation. It's not a good situation. And you know what? I'm gonna share something with you. I feel bad for the parents. My heart breaks for both of the parents, the Caucasian family and the melanated family. My heart breaks because now the melanated family are getting death threats. They threatening the family. They sending them pictures. Okay? They sending him pictures, sending the family pictures of black baby dolls getting a knife put in the head. It's so crazy. Hopefully the family can move out of that area and get another house somewhere else. The nonsense that y'all have been putting out on social media, that the boy comes from a broken home, that the boy, that the mom and dad is on Section 8. And let me share something with you. That's not a Section 8 house. It's not a Section 8 house. Okay? Section 8 will not go and buy a house like that. Okay? Now, a Section 8 house, if it's a full house, the house won't look like that. The house won't look like that. Okay? So the parents work hard to get that house. Okay? They worked hard, probably have a business and everything like that. Because y'all want to make it seem like the boy was raised in a broken home. And he wasn't. He just made a bad decision. And Austin made a bad decision too by even saying to him, you can't be under here when the school is the school property. And the second bad decision was when Anthony went and hit him in the chest with that knife. That is what it is. The whole thing could have been, you know what I'm saying? The whole thing could have changed. Okay? This is what I wish Anthony would have done. Because I'm speaking as a mother. This is what I wish Anthony would have done. When this boy told him, Austin said, get from under the tent. You don't belong here, this and that. I wish Anthony would have took his book bag, went and told somebody that this boy kicked him out from under the tent. And one of the teachers could have came and handled that nonsense. Because the teacher could have jumped up in the child's face, listen, you know better. This is not your tent. You cannot tell people they can't sit here. You know what I'm saying? Let the teachers intervene on it. That's what I wish would have happened. But it didn't. So the ultimate worst that the devil played in this mess happened. That's what it is. The ultimate worst. People want to get in here and say, okay, this was a Rosa Parks situation. This was not. No, it wasn't. It wasn't no history. They didn't know each other. And so you always get some people in here. You see this right now. You are talking like this is Jim Crow Part 2. It ain't nobody. Ain't nobody talking like that. I want to share something with y'all. My brothers, y'all have been through this before. You ever been to a club, right? You got some clean J's on, or you got your Air Force Ones on, the white ones. The white ones, okay? Somebody come into the club, you dancing, you doing good, you chilling, you rocking out, right? Okay? Somebody come in, they step on your MJs. Okay? They step on your MJs, or they step on those Air Force Ones. What's your next move? What's your next move? What's your next move? Because you mad. You got them. You know what I'm saying? You upset. You on fire. Because those MJs is hot now. This is kind of like the same situation. Those MJs, the Air Force Ones is hot. What's your next move to walk you into a king mindset? What's your next move? Because I've seen this before in the Brothers 3 in Elizabeth, New Jersey. What's your next move, y'all? Okay? Okay, what's your next move? What is the next move when they step on those MJs or the Air Force Ones? Now, this one said, be ready to fight. Okay, let's go. It's all good, fam. That's what... Thank you, Mr. He said. Thank you. It's all good, fam. It's all good, fam. Cause why? You could go and be ready to thug it out with this guy because he stepped on your sneakers, right? But you don't know if he got a piece be still. And then he take you out over a pair of sneakers. That's what I'm saying. So it's not, this is the thing, y'all. See, somebody can say something to you, but it's the way you react. Somebody can say something to you, but it's the way you react that can move it to the next level. Was Austin wrong to tell our son, because I have to call him our son, was Austin wrong to tell Anthony that he's not supposed to be under the tent? Austin was wrong to tell him that. It's not his property. It wasn't his property. But now Anthony has the ball. See, Austin started the ball, but now it's passed to Anthony. Now Anthony is supposed to show his king mindset, even at 17. Because if you're raised under a king mindset, which he was, I don't doubt his father was not a king, raised under a king mindset. I didn't say a physical king. I said the king mindset. Some of y'all be getting in here acting crazy. Okay, so the king mindset would have told him, you know what? Let me just grab my shit. Okay, let me grab my shit. Let me tell one of the teachers that he kicked me out of the tent. Okay, so now you let the coach or whoever the teachers is to go straighten that shit out. Because I have seen teachers go off on kids before when they do nonsense. I've seen it. I've witnessed it growing up. Okay? I've seen my children teachers go off on kids like, you better go sit down. I don't have time. You better go sit down. Okay? This all could have been avoided on both parts. See, it's when people do stuff, it's how you react. My sisters, when we go to the grocery store, say you in line at Walmart, say you in line at Acme, say you in line at Target, you in line, at BJ's or whatever, and somebody cut in front of you. Somebody cut in front of you, right? Now, this bitch knows she cut in front of you. She knows she did, okay? Now, you could say, bitch, wait a minute. Now, bitch, wait a minute, And then she turn around and say, well, what the fuck, this and that. You know what I'm saying? And then y'all about to fight in BJ's, or you could just let her go ahead and get that spot. And you could just say, you know what? I don't even have time. You know what I'm saying? I don't even have time. Okay? And you can also, because this will usually happen too, you'll see the cashier will stop and say, wait a minute now. This woman was in front of you. How did you jump in front of her? Okay? And the lady will say, well, I was here. And she say, no, I saw this woman first. Now, what you're going to do is go out of this spot right here, get back where you were supposed to be. You ain't supposed to cut this woman like that. Or either you could just let it ride and let her go ahead into the front. Because what the hell you got to do? You going grocery shopping. Let that shit go. Even when you in the Walmart parking lot, you had drove around the Walmart parking lot looking for a spot. You finally see the spot. You about to pull in, somebody driving real fast and get the spot. So you have the mindset to say, wait a minute, I'm going to get out this car. You say, wait a minute, I'm going to get out this car and I'm going to whoop ass. Or I'm going to drive around and wait till I get another spot. You choose the situation, my brothers and sisters. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, you got people right now in here crashing out in my chat, okay? Now, somebody said, now you see this one right here said, Mama, that was an unfair fight. It was 2 against 1. And that's another story, too. That's not true. That's another story, too. That's not true. Okay? There was not 2 against 1. There was not 2 against 1 because y'all heard that it was twins. Hey, Lady Navoa, how are you, honey? Y'all heard it was twins, so you assumed that it was 2 against 1. And it wasn't. It wasn't 2 against 1. Okay? That'll come out too. It wasn't 2 against 1. I think Information Man says it. Shout out to Information Man for doing the damn thing. Brother, always breaking that content down, honey. Shout out to that amazing brother. Let's continue. Here we go. Sorry for the long scenario, y'all. But you know what I mean, okay? So it's up to you to make the judgment on how you going to handle something. Somebody can come up here and do some rah-rah nonsense, but it's up to you on how to handle it. Even in your workplace, too. If you do customer service, it's up to you on how to handle the shit. Let's continue. Here we go.
Self-defense. I can't blame the young man, the young kid for saying that, Judge Joe Brown. Let's get to the next video because Judge Joe Brown is going to talk about the good old-fashioned way of how things used to be, where, like I said in my last video, there used to be a time when you got into a fight with a bully at school, you could use your knuckles to fight him, and even if you got your butt beat, you know what? Even if you got beat in that fight, you live to see the next day,
True.
Right? Nowadays, these kids, they don't fight, they don't put up the dukes, they don't battle against the bullies. They just simply say, let me go home, get a firearm, or get something, and do A, B, and C to somebody.
That's true. That's true.
So gone are those days where you had real, straight up, bare bones knuckle fights. Now, I'm not trying to promote violence here, but that's just the way it is. I'm a Gen Xer. That's how I grew up. You had a fight. Sometimes you won, sometimes you lost, but at least you got to live and you didn't get put in a grave.
True.
Tell the truth.
Let me let you hear what Judge Joe Brown had to say about this particular philosophy when he's asked by the real Dana. Check this out.
Watch every NBA playoff game.
Sorry for the commercial, y'all. It's coming. Here we go.
Philosophy when he's asked by the real Dana. Check this out.
Huh?
They're punks. They don't duke it out, bam, bam, bam. They don't take out bullies. And the bullies are sissies. They like to pop caps on people instead of going toe to toe. And see, oh my God, we have to protect the children from bullying, and it's up to the teachers and the police and the parents. No, it's not. It's never been in human history. It's up to the kids. It's a rite of passage. So we don't encourage our...
Now, I want to share this. I want to say this real quick. Judge Joe Brown is right. Most of us who grew up in the 70s and 80s, we stood up to our bullies. Most of us who were born in the 70s and 80s, we stood up to our bullies. And it made us proud to stand up to your bully. But now they have all these different type of laws. And so all you can do is go back and tell. And so now sometimes the school don't do anything. Sometimes nothing happens and the child continue to be bullied. So that right there, what he's saying, how we used to stand up to the bully, this is how you teach the bully a lesson. A bully does not need to be deleted. You know what they need? They need an ass whooping. That's what they need. Bullies need ass whoopings, and they'll leave you the hell alone. Okay? They will leave you the hell alone. Take Heed is not in support of any violence. Okay? I don't support any violence. But when I was young, I had played the bully a couple of times, and I also played the fighter. Do you hear what I'm saying? So all of us have walked this road before. And when you have a bully, you got to treat the bully accordingly. Okay? You got to treat the bully accordingly. Take Heed could never get up here and say, I ain't never had my ass whooped. I have had my ass whooped. Okay? I have had my ass whooped. Yes, I knew how to fight, but I have had my ass whooped before. Growing up in the projects, I started many fights. And maybe the person couldn't even beat me, and I might have beat them up. And then they had a friend or a cousin that was bigger than me, and they told them, and then the cousin was waiting for me to fight me. So yes, Take Heed has had her ass whooped too. But I live to tell the tale. Deletion is not the answer. No matter how y'all feel about this situation, deletion is not the answer. It's all right to take that ass whooping sometimes. It's all right. It's all right to take that ass whooping sometimes. It is not okay to delete somebody. It is not over a tent, over a chair. It is not okay to delete somebody. But is it okay to pass around ass whoopings? Yes, it's okay to pass around ass whoopings. Now, Take Heed to the Message does not support violence, but I'll be damned. It's better than, okay? It's better than somebody getting in here. Now you have to bury your baby. This is the thing. Our children are scared to take ass whoopings. That's every color. Every color. Not just the melanated community. That's every color. Our children nowadays are scared to take ass whoopings. You scared to take ass whoopings. You scared somebody going beat you up. One thing I know, because the rumor going around about both of these brothers done jumped this young man, jumped Anthony. One thing I know, baby, is that when you get jumped, you grab one. I don't care how many on you, you grab one. And you beat that one. Every time those ones hit you, you beat that one. That one you got on the ground, you get that one. Because now that's going to send a symbol to all the other ones who jumped on you. And so now when they try to come at you again, that boy will be the one to say, hell no. Hell no, let's not get in here. Now, I don't condone violence. I do not condone violence, demon. I don't condone violence. But we don't teach our children to stand up to these bullies. And what happened? These kids start thinking thoughts when they get home. They want to assemble a peace be still, and they go to the school and light the school up. Where is the days when the gym teacher, y'all be fighting in school, the gym teacher bring y'all two to the gym, put some boxing gloves on each of y'all without none of the kids watching, and he sit there and he watch y'all battle it out. Y'all want to fight? Let's go. Let's go. You want to get down? Let's go. You're not doing it in front of anybody. The teacher pull the curtains down in the gym room, turn on those lights. Y'all get in here. Let's go. This is what needs to come back. Now, after the fight, after they done had the fight in the gym, now they know who is who. Now they know who is who. And what happens? Usually they become friends. Because now we know who can whoop who. I watched a mother yesterday on social media. I'm sorry to break the story, y'all. We're going to go back to Information Man. I watched a mother yesterday, Hispanic mama, okay? And her son, the son and one of our children, one of our melanated kids, were arguing on the bus. They get outside, and the mama told her son to jump on our child, the melanated child. They started fighting and this and that. Don't you know the mama? Now listen to me. Don't you know the mama had her phone? She was bopping the baby, our baby, in the head with the damn phone. Now I'm gonna share something with you. When my mama let me fight, she ain't never touched nobody kid. She ain't never. My mama stood back. She ain't never touched nobody kid. Now, my mama did a lot of nonsense, but she ain't never touched nobody kid. She ain't touched one bit. She would be telling me, you better whoop their ass or I'm going to beat you. You better take heed to the message does not support violence. I want to say that because YouTube will take my channel down. Take heed to the message does not support violence. But you see how that mama handled that situation? She was wrong. She hit that baby upside the head with the phone. She could have knocked that baby out. She could have knocked that baby out. Furious, thank you, baby, for the $5 super chat. If you fight now, it's going to go viral and you lose. You're going to be embarrassed for life. So the comeback rip. The comeback rip. The came back rip. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Furious. I appreciate you, honey. So she hit this baby in the head with the phone. Back to the story. Okay, Naomi, I see you, honey. So she hit this baby in the head with the phone. And, you know, the rounds made social media. But we need the days of when these children come together. And the gym teacher, I know y'all think that this is wrong, but the kids need to experience this mess. They need to experience this mess where they both get in the gym. The principal or the gym teacher gives them these, boxing gloves and let them battle it out. Bullies are not supposed to be deleted. They need an ass whooping to be taught that you can't come around and just bully people because you bigger. Anyway, let's continue. Listen, I'm not asking for y'all to agree with what I'm saying. I'm just out here saying my truth. I'm not asking you to agree because you're going to come to your own conclusion. Okay? And I ain't got no problem with that. We're going to have to just agree to disagree. Hey, Zulu, how are you? We'll agree to disagree. I ain't got no problem with that. All right, let's continue. Here we go.
It's to take on bullies. They get protected. They feel entitled, and they have a whole lot of punks that get real scared, and they pull knives out and stab somebody instead of busting them right in the mouth.
True.
And we forgot. And it's not a racial thing either. White, black, brown, red, yellow. You remember Back to the Future where McFly goes back in time and he runs into his dad when dad is in high school. And dad has been bullied since that time until McFly's presence by Biff. And he causes dad to stand up. Boom! Dad knocks Biff out because he gets in a good blow right to his chin. And when McFly gets back to the present, guess what? Biff works for dad and Biff is dad's flunky because dad stood up to the bully. We don't teach that anymore.
We don't teach it.
What do you think about what he just said, everybody? Do you agree with
I agree.
Judge Joe Brown on the idea that we're teaching the kids to be dependent on someone saving them and not teaching kids to stand up?
Because what's happening is these children are holding it inside. They're holding it. They're being bullied in school. They're holding it inside. This is the problem. See, back when we grew up, anybody from the 70s and 80s, back when we grew up, if you had a problem with somebody, this is what you did. This is what you did. Just like that. That's exactly what you did. Don't get in here and lie. That's exactly what you did. They knew what that mean. They knew what that mean. They knew what that mean. But now we were taught, now you got to tell. Oh no, we got to tell, we got to tell. And this is what I have taught my own. Mama gonna go tell everybody. I'm gonna tell everybody. I'm going to the school. I'm gonna tell everybody. I'm gonna go through chain of command. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay? Because as a mother, that's what you're supposed to do. Okay? But now when the said child that I done had a conference with the mama, the school, the principal, the teacher, and everything, and I'm trying to be nice. And I say, wait a minute, this is this and this is going on with my child. I need y'all to get in here and do something. And so now when the child come back and go ahead and unleash hell on my child, now I'm going to tell my child, now do your damn thing, and I'll come to the school. And that's what usually happens. That's what usually happens. The child will go and say, well, my mama said, and the principal will call me, and I'll have a nice conversation. Did I not come there last month? Did we not talk last month? Did I not go to the Board of Education? They'll tell me, yes, you did, and you did this, and you did that. I said, okay, so just suspend him. I'll be there to pick him up. That's it. That's it. Because I talked to you. I did the chain of command. I did everything you asked me to do. And so now the child did not learn. So now my child is unleashing hell. So let my child unleash hell, and then you suspend them, and I'm going to pick them up. That's what I do. Because I went through chain of command. That's what I do. Now it's up to you, after I done went through chain of command, to control your child. Now if you don't control your child going to get an ass whooping. Take heed to the message does not support violence. I don't support violence. I monetize. I don't want them to take my channel down. I'm just letting you know this is how you're supposed to do things. And because we don't have this anymore, these children start thinking of ways to hurt other kids, and they come with peace be stills to the school. When back in the day, they will let you get it in school. The gym teacher will let you get it in school and close off all the doors. Nobody would see who was fighting. Nobody would know. Gym teacher all of a sudden take you out of class, take you out of the cafeteria, put y'all both in there together, say, you want to fight so bad, let's go. Let's go. You want to fight so bad, let's go. Now nobody is there to hype you up, because that's what some of y'all kids get. You get that hype up, you know, this and that, hyped up. My mother used to tell me when I was young, she said, only how you know you a real fighter, only how you know you can really fight, my mother said to me, is that you don't need people to hype you up. That you really want to, you'll find out if you really want to fight this person. And she was right. Because once you don't get that hype up no more, nobody is around, you don't really want to fight the person. It's just the people that's in the school that make you excited to want to fight the person. Anyway, let's continue. Here we go.
To take on bullies, to not allowing themselves to back down and be pushed around. You know, the judge is saying something that's very old school. He's a baby boomer. But those days are, I got to be honest, they're over. Okay? We just don't live in that kind of society anymore. Even if we want to see that come back, even if we want our kids to be tough and to learn rites of passage, as he said, through the process of...
We have made our children weak. You know, foreign children are more tougher than our kids. We have made our children weak. We have. I I ain't lying. Look at how little Chinese children, shout out to the Chinese, okay? Shout out to the African people as well. Shout out to the Haitian people too. Shout out to Japanese people. Shout out to the Russian people too. Shout out to the Israel people too, okay? Shout out to the Palestine people. The kids are tough. The kids are tough. American children are weak. They cry for everything, okay? They don't get something in the store, they start fainting and falling out and everything like that, okay? They start fainting and falling out. And parents, you supposed to fall out with them. When they fall out, you supposed to fall out with them, okay? Fall out with them, damn it. They want to embarrass you, embarrass their ass too, okay? That's right. And you know what I mean when I say fall out. Now, take heed to the message does not support violence. I don't support violence, okay? Now, let's continue. Here we go.
Bully, and the only way to get a bully to leave you alone is sometimes you got to do a little bit of boxing. Sometimes you got to show them you're not to be played with. I mean, in some of the neighborhoods that some of us grew up in, this was the way.
True.
However, we really don't want our kids to have to go through this sort of stuff, but it is a reality, and it makes you wonder. This is what Judge Joe Brown is saying. Let me also bring up something else in the law. I want to remind you, everybody, because this is going to come up in the next clip I'm going to play you, and this is Kyle Rittenhouse. The thing that's the hypocrisy about Kyle Rittenhouse is that he did some serious stuff. You see, Carmelo Anthony, he stabbed, unfortunately, Austin McCaffrey and took his life, and that's a very unfortunate situation.
It is.
But when you look at someone like Kyle Rittenhouse, who got off for not only taking the life of one person, but two people. I mean, let's just read right here.
Tell the truth.
Yes, Kyle Rittenhouse was acquitted of all charges, including homicide, after pleading self-defense in the 2021 trial following the courageous shooting and the...
And he should not have, that should have not been, the way they let him go, that should not have even been at all. That should not have been at all. I'm not sitting up here talking about, oh, you know, this and this is that and this and that and this is fair and this is not fair. The thing is that a lot of cases that we have seen in our community, it should not have went the way that it went. So I want y'all to understand that I am on my people's side. I want y'all to understand that, but we have to call a spade a spade. When something is wrong, it's wrong, damn it. Okay? Regardless if another culture don't believe it's wrong. When something is wrong, it's wrong. I didn't say we get in here and bash, but the truth is the truth.
With an AR-15 because he said he felt threatened,
I'll be right back.
even though he was the one who drove across state lines into another state, and he was looking to confront people. Then to find out this is something you got to also remember too. Kyle Rittenhouse took the life of two people with a whip and a firearm that he was too young to have. He had no business with the firearm because he was underage for the age to actually have that rifle in his possession as someone that owns it and the whole 9 yards. So he was underage, should have never even had a gun on him. So when people say, well, why did Carmelo Anthony have a knife on him? When people say that, keep this in mind. Kyle Rittenhouse had a weapon on him that takes the life of people just like that, and took the life of two people, and had a firearm that he had no registry to, had no business having it, and he was also underage for it, okay? So I just want to give some perspective here. Another thing I want to bring up in the law here is this. I found this in the law. In Texas, as a 17-year-old, can a 17-year-old generally carry a knife, but with some restrictions? Specifically, it's illegal for someone under age 18 to carry a location-restricted knife outside of a certain specific location, like their home, property, or vehicle, unless under a supervision of a parent or guardian. Well, Kyle Rittenhouse had a weapon that he did not have a right to have because he was underage, and he did not have a guardian for that weapon. So if we're going to put this on Carmelo, then we got to look at everybody who has also maybe broken the law in this sense. Let's go back.
Now, amen to what Information Man just said. So we going to put it on Carmelo, Anthony. We going to put it on everybody else too. So this is a slippery slope that we're going down. But I want to share something with you. And my brothers, my sisters, I want you to understand something. The judicial system is not for us. You have to avoid the judicial system at all costs. It is not for us. It is not for us. It is never a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, when it comes to us. Not excusing anything that Anthony did. I am not. Because this is a whole different scenario. I'm not excusing anything. I have never excused anything that any of our children have done or the Caucasian children have done. What is wrong, damn it. No matter what color the child is. What is wrong, okay? So we can't get in here and try to excuse it because of color. Because at the end of the day, this was something that could have been avoided on both parts, okay? Both of these young men. Something that could have been avoided on both parts. And all the fake news that's getting out here about both of these children is horrifying. Because we're in here believing all this nonsense and that's not what really happened. And we're not going to really know the true understanding of this thing until the trial starts. I'm just saying, okay? Let's continue, y'all. Let's continue. Shout out to Information Man. Always have amazing content.
The supervision of a parent or guardian. According to Texas law, location-restricted knives are generally defined as those longer than 5.5 inches. Okay, I would definitely like to know when this all comes out in the wash and the autopsy and everything, what was the size of the knife that he had? Now, check this out. In Texas as a state, they let people have knives, particularly if you're an adult. It's legal. So check this out. In Texas, it is generally legal for adults to carry knives on their person with someone restriction on where the knife with a blade, how long it is. If it's longer than 5.5 inches, it can be carried. Knives with blades shorter than 5.5 inches are generally unrestricted and can be carried anywhere. This is what's going on in the state of Texas as far as you being able to just literally carry this sort of stuff, okay? Let me go further with this by introducing, how can I say this? He's not the lawyer. I don't think he's a friend of the family, but he works for the Next Generation.
Yes, he does.
Action Network. Mm-hmm. He had a press conference. I think the family. He's working with the family. Let me say that he's working with the family. The family know who he is. They gave him permission to give a statement just not that long ago, a few days ago.
He did.
And this is what he had to say. And I want you all to listen to this very carefully because I think he makes some legitimate points here about the situation with Carmelo Anthony. Let me also say that it's been put out there that Carmelo Anthony's family is receiving death threats, racial threats, and the whole 9 yards since this whole thing has gone down with what their son has done.
Yep.
They are being harassed.
They are.
And they are staying to themselves at home. This is what's happening. You got people on social media that are coming after them. I'm just laying it out. This brother right here that you're going to hear, he also talked about that in the recent press conference that they gave about Carmelo Anthony and the whole situation. Let me let you hear this now. Check this out.
Carmelo Anthony, from the beginning, has continued to display his self-defense claim. And I believe that in America, I always tell this, and I'm just going to speak truth to power in this situation. It is crazy that America tells us to accept the self-defense claim of George Zimmerman, Kyle Rittenhouse, and so many other people. But when the shoe is on the other foot, that claim is absurd. And I just got to call a spade a spade. No matter what my personal views of a case may be,
Right.
it is quite contradicting for America to come back and say, oh, Cal Rittenhouse can have it, George Zimmerman can have it, all of these individuals that don't look like the color of my skin can't have it. In the state of Texas, we live in a state where yet you can walk around with the permitless carry, you can walk around with a brass knuckles, you can walk around with a knife, you can walk around with all these things. AK-47 in the state of Texas. And then as soon as you see a black person exercise those rights, we now have a problem. And that's not me spitting hate.
But this is what I tell y'all. This is when I say this to y'all, that the judicial system is not for us. This is what I'm talking about. Because the only part that is designated for us is the prison pipeline. Everything else is not designated for us. And that's why you gotta stop letting that stuff catch y'all. Certain situations should not catch you. I want to stress that to y'all. Understand that. Understand that everything will not go the way, like we could get out here, a lawyer can play this out right now on social media. There has been so many lawyers playing this whole situation out all over social media. So many lawyers playing this whole thing out on social media. But you don't know the mind of the judge. You don't know if this is going to go in front of a jury. You don't know if this will be pleaded out. You don't know. So all we can do is just watch and see what's going to happen. But for all the stuff that y'all been telling on social media about the situation is all lies. All that stuff is lying. Y'all said that he knew the people. Y'all said this happened, that he told them to get from under the chair and don't get in my chair, don't be under the tent, all this other stuff, you know, and that and all this stuff that we're out here pushing, okay? This stuff could have really been avoided. Some of this stuff y'all just adding to the story because we don't know the original story. And we're making it worse by us adding to stuff instead of us actually finding out what's going on. Y'all getting in here talking about both of the brothers jumped him. They didn't do that. That didn't happen like that. You know what I'm saying? But y'all, you know, we in here trying to ad-lib stuff. And then y'all saying that the boy grew up in the hood and he ain't had no daddy and all. And that's not even true. The family lived well. The boy got 2 jobs. Okay? He got a 4.0 GPA. Okay? The boy is smart. And we're talking about Anthony. 2 jobs the young man was working. Also, Austin, what is it, a 3.9 or 3.4 GPA or something like that. They said he's smart as well. Played football. He had teammates that were melanated children. Y'all said he was racist. That, you know, come on now. Come on now. Y'all saw them with hunting gear on. Oh no, they racist because they got hunting gear on. Children from the South know how to hunt. Black, white, Hispanic, they know how to hunt. Children from the South know how to hunt and fish. They can actually get by better than children from the North. That's nasty, right? They'll be able to survive in the woods on their own. Not like children from the North. Y'all will get lost. You will get lost. I'm one of them. I will get lost too. Let's continue. Here we go.
Race or bigotry, that's the facts.
Tell the truth.
What can we say, everybody? He is speaking facts. Yes, he is. Definitely speaking facts. His whole situation is a sad situation. I hope that the young man, KARMELO Anthony, will get his day in court. And another thing that Judge Joe Brown said, I want to bring this up. Judge Joe Brown said something else. You know that KARMELO Anthony is on $1 million bond or bail.
That's a lot.
Kyle Rittenhouse didn't have $1 million bail when he did what he did. Okay. George Zimmerman didn't have that. I don't even think Daniel Penny had that when he choked out that young man in New York who had mental health problems. He was homeless. But this young man has $1 million bond. They feel like the bond is too high. Another thing that Judge Joe Brown brought up that I think we need to also examine is that the charge of first degree murder, and murder is a legal term. He's saying that he believes, Judge Joe Brown believes that they are overcharging Carmelo Anthony, that it should be first degree murder is more like a crime of passion sort of thing, he was saying. He said he should really be getting, I think, second degree, not first degree. So he feels that they have overcharged Carmelo Anthony in this situation, and that the bond that they posted for him is way too high, especially when you compare it to people like Kyle Rittenhouse, the George Zimmermans of the world, the Daniel Pennies of the world. Double standard in American society. It has always been that way, a double standard that we can't deny exists. So with that said, everybody, this is the information.
Shout out to the Information Man channel. Shout out to that amazing brother who always brings the truth. Do you hear me? He always brings the truth. Shout out to that amazing content creator. Guys, when you get time, please like and subscribe to that brother channel, honey. You will not regret. Like and subscribe to that brother amazing channel. To everybody who donated to the channel, Mrs. She Said, who else? Mrs. She Said, Mr. He Said, Promoting Conscious Parenting, Furious for the $5 super chat. Furious says, if you fight now, it's gonna go viral, and you lose, you're going to be embarrassed for life. So the come up back rip. Okay. Now, I don't know if he broke that down into RIP. I'm not sure. But Furious, thank you, baby, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. Mrs. She Said for the $2 super chat. Also promoting conscious parenting for one membership. They gift that they gave someone. Another gift membership Miss She Said gave someone. Sun Kiss, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Also, Anthony, I see you. Thank you for the $10 Cash App as well. Okay. And everybody else that I had called out in the beginning of the $2 super chat, I greatly appreciate y'all for donating to the channel. Much love to you all. Guys, before we get out of here, let me just hit y'all with a little music, baby. Just a little music. And I appreciate y'all for that, for donating to the channel. Because, and the theme song for the donation will be BMU, okay? Black Men Unite, because this song referenced this whole situation, even though the one who was sent to glory is a Caucasian young man. The thing is, a man's road, a boy's road, no matter what color they are, is a hard road to walk. It is a hard road to walk. And I want to play this song because it's touching for all men, no matter what color they are. Okay? It's not easy being a man. It is not easy being a man, honey. To both of those two young men. And also, I want to share something with y'all. A lot of people, we get in here, we talk about Austin. We say all these evil things about this young Caucasian boy. But this boy is being laid to rest. His mother and father are hurting. Some people say they can see darkness behind the father's eyes. And I'm going to share something with you. Why wouldn't you see darkness behind his eyes? If this happened to a melanated father, would you not see darkness behind his eyes? Would you not see darkness behind his eyes? If this happened to a melanated father, would you not see darkness behind his eyes? Any man would feel the way that y'all claim the father feel, even though the father said that he forgive Anthony for taking his son's life. Some of y'all get in here and y'all will get up here and say nonsense. What was the father supposed to feel? You say you can see darkness behind his eyes. Wouldn't you see darkness behind a melanated man's eyes if his son was taken to glory? Y'all got to stop that nonsense. My problem is we got to get out of this thing of saying this is a black and white issue. This is a bullying issue. This is a bullying issue that went left. How many of us have been in bullying issues? Bullying issues. It is up to you to move the situation. When somebody throws something in your court, my sisters, you understand what I'm saying? When somebody throws something in your court, it's up to you to respond. You don't have to respond to everything. That doesn't make you a punk. I tell my children this all the time. It doesn't make you a punk just because you don't respond. I want you to put in your mind, when somebody says something to you, you put in your mind, you know what? I don't respond to foolishness. I don't respond to foolishness. Our girls, our oldest daughter used to walk around her school. Somebody say something to her. She says, I'm too old to respond to foolishness. She was only like 15. I'm too old to respond to foolishness. Sometimes you have to tell your child, you too old to respond to foolishness. You too old. You have too much to lose. Some of y'all get in here and say, Anthony, he had nothing to lose. The boy had everything to lose. He had a wonderful family. Still have a wonderful family. Still have a wonderful family. Take it with you, baby. Put it in the car. Still have a wonderful family. He worked 2 jobs. He had a 4.0 grade average. Okay, GPA. I hope I'm saying that correctly. So, and I just, you know what, tell you the truth, he didn't even know anything about this thing. My daughter was telling me, like, when she started going, you know, her last year of school, she like, Mom, I'm like, what is that? You know, what is that? Okay, so, you know, I'm just telling you on how you get in here and you respond to certain things. You can dog walk somebody with kindness. If you don't want to get in a full-on battle with somebody, you can dog walk them with kindness and walk away like nothing happened. And I'm not saying that Anthony, I'm not saying that, oh, he should have been pushed out of the tent. I'm not saying that. But the reaction was wrong. What he did was wrong to Austin. And we have to call a spade a spade. Okay, he didn't want him under the tent. He told him, nah, you got to get your stuff. He probably threw his book bag at him or whatever. You got to get your stuff. Yes, Austin was wrong to do that. You will never hear Take Heed say Austin was right on that situation. But Anthony was wrong to take his life, y'all. He was wrong to take his life. This was something that could have just been snatch your book bag, go tell the teacher, let the coach know, let somebody know, and that could have been handled. That doesn't make you a punk. But when you're around other peers, people like, you know, kids is terrible. They be like, oh yeah, you just got punk, So that make you have like that, you know, that fake liquid courage. That make you have fake liquid courage, making you think you could do something with somebody. And that's where that's what it looked like to me when Anthony said, well, if you touch me, you know what I'm saying? Excuse me. If you touch me, you know what I'm saying? All I'm saying, y'all, is that this could have been handled in a different way. That's all I'm saying. Peer pressure, that's right. I'm sorry. Peer pressure. Did I not say it right the first time? Let me know, because you know how I do with these words, Lord. Okay. That's all I'm saying. This could have just been avoided. It didn't have to be a whole full-on battle. And this boy be sent to glory. That's all Take Heed want to say to y'all. I enjoyed my time with y'all. Thank you to everybody who donated to the channel. Thank you to everybody who donated through Cash App as well. Okay? Just wanted to put that out there. Just wanted us to put that out there. We will continue to keep looking at the situation when it goes to court and everything like that. We'll continue to check it out and see what's going on or whatever. But this is not a black and white issue. This is a right and wrong. No matter how y'all want to spin it, this is a right and wrong issue. This is not a black and white issue. I know y'all want to spin it that way, but it's a bullying issue. It's a bullying issue, not a black and white issue. I just want y'all to understand that. Even though you see some of the black elite on these YouTubian streets wilding out, okay? You see them wilding out, and nobody is thinking of the family that lost their son. Nobody is thinking of the family. Even though we are a melanated family, okay, even though we're melanated, we still have to open our hearts to understand that this Caucasian family lost their son. Nobody wants to bury their 17-year-old child. You get somebody right now. I want to see you ask somebody, do they want to bury their 17-year-old child? They gonna tell you, get the hell out of there. They gonna tell you, get the hell out my face. Nobody wants to lose their baby. Our melanated side, you don't know if they're gonna lose their son. You don't know how long they're going to put him in the prison. You don't know if anything going to happen to this baby in the prison. God forbid. God forbid, on both sides. I wish this would have never happened. But it is a right and wrong issue. It is not a color issue. Y'all making it a color issue. We should send our condolences to Austin family too. We should send our condolences. Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm not one of those content creators that said it's wrong for you to help the family. I'm not one of those that will say that. Just like they had GoFundMes for all these other children who had done this nonsense, they're wrong for that. And y'all also wrong for doing a GoFundMe for Anthony too. Unless it was to help the family relocate, okay, get security or something like that. That's different. But at the end of the day, logic did not play out in this situation. A king mindset did not play out in this situation. The teachers and the coaches were not paying attention. The security was not there. At the end of the day, everything failed these two boys. And a calm tone failed these two boys. Because who would have the mindset to tell somebody, get from under the tent and it's raining? Someone is going under the tent for safety. So that goes to show you that something else is playing out there too. This is why Take Heed believes when they said that Austin is a bully. Because who would think that you would tell somebody it's pouring down raining and you would tell them they can't be under the tent, and it's not your tent, it's the school tent. And should Anthony have responded the way he did after they threw the book back, he could have took the book back, he could have left, but more than likely those other kids that was around was laughing and this and that, and that's why you get that peer pressure. Okay, yes, Renee, I heard they deleted it. You get that peer pressure, and so now I gotta be strong. You see girls around, you see other boys around, you gotta be strong. And sometimes I'm gonna share something with you. Being strong is walking away. Do you hear what I'm saying? Sometimes I want you to understand that being strong is walking away. It is not a color issue. It's a right and wrong issue. And at the end of the day, I'm still going to say condolences to the Caucasian family. I'm still going to say condolences to Austin family. Because nobody knows what it's like to breastfeed a child. Change this baby. Wash this baby. Feed this baby. And then all of a sudden the child at 17 years old gets sent to glory. Nobody knows what it's like. Nobody knows what it's like. Especially a mother who has the mindset of being a mother. Because there's women out here that are mothers, they don't have the mindset of being a mother. But I'm coming from a mother that has a mindset of being a mama. If you met Take Heed for the first time, you already know I'm a mama. It's the way I talk. You already know I'm a mama. And so my heart goes out to Austin family because I'm a mama. Nobody wants to go through something like that. No parent wants to bury their child. And my heart goes out to Anthony mama too, because no mother wants to see their child behind bars. Lord knows. And my heart breaks for both of the daddies. Y'all want to get in here and say, oh, there's darkness behind Austin father's eyes. And I got to repeat that again. How can you say that? Of course, his son is gone. How he supposed to feel? You don't know how Anthony fathers feel. Anthony father probably just upset thinking that he failed his son. This is probably what he's thinking. Because we never ask men what they're going through. We give two shits about what men are going through. We never ask them. But both of these men are going through something. Both of these mothers are going through something. Both of these fathers are going through something. And for us to get up here and keep putting lie after lie on a situation and we don't know what's going on, sometimes it's okay to do this. Sometimes it's okay to do this. It's all right. It's all right that we want to react to this. It's all right. You saying your piece. But at the end of the day, y'all got to stop saying this is a black and white issue. You need to get in here and say this is a right and wrong issue. Both of these boys made a grave mistake, and one person has been sent to glory and the other one is in jail. Black Queen, how are you, honey? And so no matter how you spin it and you call Take Heed, somebody paying you, somebody doing this, and you repping for the white folks and this and that, no matter what you say, Take Heed is a mama. Take Heed is a mama. I'm a mama, baby. I'm a mama. When a baby call for their mama out in the street and I'm out in the street, I look, because that's my name. Mama, that's my name. So when I hear stuff like this about children, it hurts. Take those colors off your eyes and look at the situation. I gotta go. I gotta go. Everybody have a wonderful day. Much love to you all. God willing, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Okay? God willing, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Maybe the evening time, I'm not sure. Probably in the morning, I'm not sure. Or maybe we won't do a show tomorrow because I got some running to do tomorrow. All right? God willing, if I make it tomorrow, okay? So now, if you like the content, please like and subscribe to the page. Also donate to the page as well. Okay. If you want to shop with us, our UBMRex, fashion.com, Mercari, POSHMARK, and eBay is there. The links in my bio. If you want to shop merch, scroll to the top of the page. You will see shop or store. Get in there, see if you like some hoodie, shirts, mugs, water bottles, baby clothes. And I want you to understand this. No matter where you get your information from, no matter who you go rock out in their chat and stuff like that, look at this with an open mind. If you are a mother, look at this with an open heart. This thing could have happened to any child. Either they be white on white or black on black. This could have happened to any child. It is the teaching that needs to change with these children. It is not that if you have a bully that you get in here and delete the bully. Because some of y'all right now would not even be in my chat if that was true. Let's delete the bully. Because some of y'all was bullies 1 or 2 times in your life. So let's call a spade a spade. And when I play this song right here, understand that Take Heed is telling you the gospel truth as a mother. Nobody wants their child to go through anything like that. No parent welcomes the idea of burying their child. No parent welcomes the idea of seeing their 17-year-old baby go behind bars.